In this sub, we're going to do another example of a for next loop that loops through all the rows from the second row until the last row. Um, in this particular spreadsheet, we're looking for pay rates that are empty, that have not been entered. So I'm going to go to VBA, and I named the sub fixed pay, and I haven't done any of the coding yet. I simply copied the search for employee. So the setup is going to be similar, where we're going to compute the last row and define I as an entry. We don't need a employee ID. But we are looping from the second row until the last row. In this case, we're looking for to see if the value of the cells in column 3 is less than or equal to 0. I need my then. Need a second parentheses. So the cells has a parentheses between the row and the column, and then value, val, also has a parentheses. So if the value in column 3, as we're looping through from the second row all the way into the end, each time we encounter that, we're going to ask them to input. So we're setting the value in column 3 for whatever row we're on equal to an input box So I'm going to format my input box. Please enter the pay rate for employee ID, and then I'm going to show them the value of the entry in column 1, and also the name of the employee. Just putting a space in there so that the employee ID and the name are not right next to each other. Okay, so I think this is actually complete once I fix the end parentheses. So all we're doing here is computing the last row, setting up a loop from the second row to the last row, looking at the contents, the cells in column 3, and if the value of those, so text or anything other than a positive number is entered, then we're going to ask them to input it. And I've already formatted the column in the spreadsheet as currency. So let's go ahead and run it and make sure it works. So enter the pay rate for employee ID 200, LeBron James. And it also found one for David West, and hopefully it stops there, and it does. So we can test it again. So I run it again, and it detects that there's text in this column. So I'm going to put in a number. So it seems to be working as planned.